What's up, guys? Kyle here, back with another video. And today, so if you saw my community post on, I think I posted it on Sunday. That's right. That's the video that you're going to be getting today. So today we're going to be talking about my experience beating Karrion Kross. So, I honestly don't know how to start with this, but what I'll say is, so what happened was, on Saturday, so now this will be 2 days ago, I went to Silver Scream Con, right? It's basically like the festival that like Ice Nine Kills has every year, and this year it happened to be somewhere near me, right? And it's funny, I remember at first, like, I thought this was gonna be a huge disappointment or whatever, like, oh, whatever, like, because the thing is, I've never really been to a convention before, so I didn't really know how it worked until, obviously, I had gotten in there, and then, yeah, we'll get to that later, but I originally didn't like really care about going to it because it was like I thought it was just gonna be like horror movies and stuff. And yeah, I like horror movies. Like, I think I could get into a little bit into horror movies. I think I will in this video, but to put it simply, I don't really care about horror movies that much. I think, like, out of all of the like communities, like in like film festivals or whatever, it's like I think horror has the biggest. I don't know. I just think it has such a big cult following. I think that's why you get all these festivals and all these conventions and stuff like that. Right, but the thing I wasn't expecting in there was Karrion Kross. I'm like, so I know his character is kind of horror centered, right? But I didn't expect him to be there, or like I don't know. I just wasn't thinking that he was gonna be there. And same with Rhea Ripley too. Yeah, we should get into that before long, right? So we got in there. We were just walking around, whatever. I didn't know. We didn't know how it worked at all, quite frankly, because I was there with someone, right? And I may bring him up in this video, but yes, that is my brother there, and yes, he looks way different than me. So once we got into the convention, one of the first booths that we saw was like Karrion Kross's booth, and they weren't there. So I was like, wait, does this mean that like these jobbers are here? Like, wait a minute, like you're telling me this jobber Karrion Kross is here? Now it was funny, yeah. So I was like, I don't know if I really need to like meet them or whatever. So we just kind of kept plugging along, and plus they weren't there, so, you know, maybe we could have waited it out, but I didn't know, like, what the deal was or whatever. Then probably, like, a little bit into it later, we eventually get to the part where they have tattoos, because, of course, they have tattoos at a horror convention, right? And what do you know? Rhea Ripley's there. Now, what does your boy do? So this is what I'm going to say about me meeting Rhea Ripley. We don't give a fuck about none of that! No, but I'm just kidding, though. Like, honestly, if I had gotten the chance to meet her, I probably would do it despite what I think of her. And the thing was, too, it wasn't like she had a booth or whatever, unlike Karrion Kross, who did have one. And she was walking around like everyone else was. I guess it's kind of hypocritical, because I remember my video that I made about her, I remember I brought up the point where she was like, and ever since then, there's been more stuff about it, whatever, where she's like annoyed by the fans or whatever. And I remember the man, the legend, Vince Russo, said it best. He was like, if you don't want to be in this industry, if you don't want to have this attention, then why are you in this industry? And it seemed like, honestly, when I was there, like, she didn't have a problem with the fans. And it's like, maybe this whole thing is just made up, whatever. She's just trying to get buzz, whatever. But, for real, though, I think she actually probably does have a problem with it. I could probably imagine that, like, wherever she was from in Australia, it was probably very rural. So, like, you didn't really come into, or, like, you weren't around a lot of people often. So she probably will never really get used to it. But that's just the way it is. Yeah, it's one of the things you have to understand about it. It's like, when you're in the wrestling industry, there are going to be people. There's always going to be people that are going to want you. They're going to want to harass you. I would hope nobody would want to harass you, but it's just your public figure, you know? So it's like, that's what kind of comes with it, you know? And that's probably one of the reasons why I don't want to do it, because it's like, I don't want to be, you know, out in public all the time. You know, I like being in public, but not all the time. Or, you know, I don't want people paying attention to me all the time, you know? So anyways, move on from that. So I then got curious. It's like, okay, so is there like, okay, so there's wrestlers here. So is there like wrestling stuff here? Well, it turns out there was wrestling stuff there. So it turns out like it actually kind of did save itself. It's like, oh, thank gosh. Like, I remember when I saw like those wrestling figures, like, because they had some wrestling figures there, whatever. They had a whole place like selling them or whatever. It's like, oh, thank gosh. Because it was like, because like I was just bored on my mind. It's like I don't care about any of this horror stuff really. So it's like get me close to the wrestling stuff, I'll be good. So then that's when the convention became totally worth it for me, and I was like, yep, this is perfect. I got the figures here. I'll post pictures of them, but I bought 3 figures there, and I think they're pretty valid. I mean, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't buy figures that are not valid. I wouldn't add figures to my collection that are not valid, right? So did that. They ended up being around $30 or whatever. It's like, I mean, geez, like you guys like, because here's the thing, right? So the Undertaker one was like $8.99. The other two were like, I don't know, like $10.99, or at least they'll amount to it when it comes to like taxes. Because I know taxes. It's an interesting thing though. Like it could make something that's like, like 99 cents turn to $1, right? You just got to add that cent in taxes, right? It's an interesting how that stuff works, right? So then we got towards the end of the convention, whatever. So I remember we were like going by Karrion Kross's table, whatever, and they happened to be there. And my brother was like, he kind of, because he knows I like wrestling. I mean, he knows I like this stuff. I mean, that's why, because a lot of people don't know in that video, the Hulk Hogan tribute video, like a lot of people don't know like how I got that poster over. It actually was my brother that bought me that poster, so he knows I like this stuff. So he kind of gave me the hint, like, yeah, he was like, dude, I think you should do it or whatever. So what he did was he bought me the experience basically. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I should say how it works first of all. I mean, we are 7 minutes into this video. I probably should say how it works now. So how it works is that like it's $80 if you want to take a picture with both of them. However, the price was slashed in half if you wanted to, buy a shirt. So what we do is we bought a shirt. So it turns out now my first wrestling shirt ever is a Karrion Kross shirt and not a John Cena one. Oh gosh, they're gonna really eat me up for this one, I know. But the thing is that like I wasn't into wrestling really. Oh, I mean, I was into it, but I just wasn't buying the merch, so it's like, understand where I'm coming from here, right? So we bought the experience or whatever, and we took the picture. I don't know if I'll put it up here in the video, because, like, you guys already saw it if you have seen the community post, like, so basically what you gotta do for that is, like, you gotta go under, how you do it is you go under my channel, and then there should be, like, there should be a tab there, like where it says like home and then videos and then playlists and stuff like that. So it's probably the one over from playlists, and also go check out that WWE playlist. It's growing ever larger. And I probably should be putting this one in a different playlist. I think I'm gonna make a storytime playlist and then put this one in. So check out the new playlist, guys, when it's done, especially when this video is uploaded. So it's over from that one probably, and then probably first post you see in there, because I haven't been posting anything else in my community tab. It'll probably be the first post that you see in there, and then boom, the picture will be right there if you don't see it in this video right here. So I remember we had to take the photo like 3 times or whatever too, because it was like I remember like I think after like the second picture I'm like, wait a minute, something's off here. I couldn't quite figure out what it was, but then Scarlett realized it, because Scarlett's smart, I guess, right? She's wicked smart, right? So she realized that the lens was fogged, whatever. So it's like, once that was figured out, then it was like, boom, okay, we're good now. So we got the picture. Then this is the most interesting part, I think. So I decided to start talking to Karrion Kross. I asked him, I was like, yo, so are you like in GCW now? Like, what are you doing? He was like, he basically told me, he was like, I ain't getting no, like, I'm thinking that I can say what he told me in this video. It wasn't like there was like these Saudi sheiks there that were like, you cannot say this anywhere else, so what else we will give you, right? It wasn't like a situation to where like the information that he was sharing was confidential. So I guess I'm fine with sharing it here in this video. So he basically was like, yeah, we're touring around the independent scene. And another thing that's interesting, so from the last appearance that he had on Raw, because I remember it, he literally looked exactly the same from when he was in WWE. I was perplexed the whole time. I was like, this was somebody that was in WWE like a month ago. He was in SummerSlam, and now I'm meeting him. It's like, it's like a full circle moment. It was something I couldn't believe, right? And the whole time I was talking to him, I kind of couldn't believe it. And as the conversation got a little bit deeper, it started to get more interesting, I think, because then he started talking about like, oh, the writers' room, is so corrupt, it's so screwed over. Like, he basically didn't like the direction that WWE was going in, and I think to a certain extent, I think like because of that, that was the reason why he decided not to re-sign and with Scarlett too. I'm gonna be real, like his character wasn't that good in WWE, and the thing is that unlike most jobbers, I think he actually had a decent physique. Like I think he was built like I think he had like that Undertaker physique, you know what I mean? Like tall, like kind of lanky, I guess. But I don't know, he is jacked though, so I mean I can't say like I don't know, but Undertaker kind of was jacked though. But I mean it was on and off, I think, with him. I remember like in 08 he was jacked, he was crazy. See, another thing with that photo too is that like it will expose me as being a small fraud, right? But I mean honestly though, I don't care though. Like I think it comes with its perks, so like I'm only like 5'7", whatever, and I'm kind of fine with that, I guess. But it's weird. It's like he just like towers me. I'm like, there's no way I'm taking on this dude in a fight. I'm sorry. Even though he's a jobber, though, it's like just because you're a jobber doesn't mean you ain't built. It's like because if that was the case, then that would mean I wouldn't want to mess with Vladimir Kozlov either, right? Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to mess with him either. But the more it got interesting, and then I told him, I was like, I don't really like the direction that WWE was going in. I was talking about too, because it was like they had just announced then that WrestleMania 43 was going to be in Saudi Arabia. So about that, so that's probably going to be the next video. I'm really hyped to talk about it. There was a guy in the comment section that in one of my last videos that was talking about how like WWE sold out or whatever, and he went into great length to it. I'm like, dang, thank you, bro. It's like, I'm just a guy with like 75 subscribers here, and you're writing me this whole ass paragraph. It's like, dang, you're doing all this work for me? Thank you for that one. Whoever wrote that comment, shout out to you. But yeah, it seemed like he started to actually kind of agree with me there. So it's kind of, I don't know, I just never thought, like when I was talking to him, like I just never thought I was able to do this. And as for like them themselves, they were very chill. I mean, they were very like, you hear a lot how like these like wrestlers were overcharged for like signatures and autographs, whatever, and it was kind of expensive for that stuff. I mean, like I said, like some of it was like $80 for a picture with both of them, but it was slash if you got a t-shirt, so therefore you're kind of spending $40 anyway. So it's kind of weird how that works, but I get it though, because it's like they're not signed by WWE, so it's like they need any money they can because like they're independent, like I was saying back there. And you could kind of tell, and it's funny, like I looked on the back of the shirt here, and it says, "A good soldier defends his people," and I totally could see him doing that. One of the times where it's like actually legitimate, and it's not like CM Punk being like pretending to be punk rock, and meanwhile he's like taking money from Saudi Arabia when he said he never would, right? Meanwhile, this guy, Karrion Kross, actually believes him. So it kind of makes you look at jobbers in a different way. It's like, just because, like, their character's written horribly, they have a bad promo, they have a bad feud, they have a bad match, that doesn't mean they're bad people overall. I think that's something that, a good lesson that we could take from this experience, if I had to say. And from all the experiences I've heard from people that have met him, they're very good, and I would say it was a very good experience when I met him too, so that adds up. Like, you could tell Karrion Kross, you could tell, like, he didn't want to have to deal with, like, interacting with the fans or whatever. Like, you could tell, like, he's in his own little place, and Scarlett's the one that does all the work for him, Not busting, Karrion Kross's chops, whatever. But that's just the way that he kind of wants it. And if it's fine with them, then it's fine with them, right? And so I'm not complaining, right? So yeah, I think he is in the sentiment of a lot of the people now online that are like, oh, WWE sold out to Saudi Arabia. They only go to places where they can get big money. And it is kind of true. We're gonna get more into this in the next video, definitely. I'm thinking now, it's like, what other video would I want to make other than that one? It's one of the biggest things going on in WWE right now. And they hyped it up like this. It was this big announcement, whatever. And then literally all the wrestlers behind them were like, just couldn't care. They could care less, right? So that's going to be the next video. But anyways, continuing on now. So, we went to the convention. Then, I don't know if this should be the part that I mentioned here, but there was this like, it was on the floor above where the convention was happening. I don't know what it is, like, those, like, it's kind of like a press conference, I guess it is. I mean, I don't really care, like, I don't know, like, it was like basically like the cast of Scream. They were like answering questions from like fans, whatever. And the whole time there, I was like, I don't know. I was kind of, I don't know, because it was funny. Like, my brother was like, yo, you want to go in there? And I remember when we went in there, it was like fucking like, it was like a sauna in there, dude. It was so hot. So then when we went in there, it's funny. I had taken the lead to go in there. I was like, oh, maybe something interesting will happen there. It was literally the most boring thing ever. There was literally people like clapping for no reason, cheering for no reason. I'm like, this dude. I'm like, man, celebrity culture's just going out of hand, man. It's like people care too much about what these people are saying, and and to be fair, it's like, I mean, the movie was like, Scream was good, but it wasn't like it was like this. Oh my god, it's a masterpiece. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe for the Halloween season coming up, I will watch it again. Then after that, we got hammered at happy hour because, of course, we got to, right? We ate at this place, whatever. They had like meatball sandwiches. It wasn't like meatball subs. It was like a meatball sandwich. It was it was really good, actually. I'd recommend the place, but I don't know if I want to like drop any names here. Then after that, we went to the Ice Nine Kills concert, and there was like 5 bands that opened up for Ice Nine Kills before they got on the stage. I'm like, oh my goodness, it took a while. But the Ice Nine Kills show was actually pretty good. I have clips of it up on my music channel, so, shameless plug here, I know. But if you want to go see clips of the Ice Nine Kills show, I'll link it in the description down below. And another little note I'd like to add in here. So, it turns out the Rhea Ripley appearance actually meant something. I mean, yeah, she was at the Silver Scream Con for probably reasons, because that's like her hobby, like the horror stuff. That's her hobby. That's what her character's based off of. But she was part of the theatrics of the Ice Nine Kills show. So technically, at the end, so the last song that played, there was somebody dressed up as Art the Clown. I mean, come on, like we actually believe that Art the Clown actually exists. Oh no, but then I don't know though. Maybe he comes back around Halloween time to kill everybody again, right? And Rhea Ripley was on stage. So what does Art the Clown do? He kills Rhea Ripley, right? Not in real life, but in this show, they drag her off, as if like they actually killed her. So that was another interesting thing that happened at the show. So then, as for like the whole like day experience as a whole, I would say it was pretty fun. I mean, I definitely wasn't expecting to be able to talk to Karrion Kross, especially about the state of the WWE and just the wrestling business as a whole. So I thought they were very. I mean, look. Say what you want. I mean, like, whatever. Like, dude. Like, because I remember, like, we were talking about, like, I was talking to people about, like, how I met Karrion Kross, whatever. And I remember someone I know was like, why didn't you meet Rhea Ripley, bro? It's like, I didn't say anything, but because, like, I didn't want to start. I mean, I know people like her more, but I don't know. I just didn't care that much to meet her. It's like, I know she likes this stuff. Like, if you watch the Unreal thing, like, they spent a considerable amount of time talking about how she likes all these, like, weird, like, crows and stuff. It's like, we don't give a fuck about nudity! You know what I mean? It's like, I don't care about any of that stuff. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm just drawn to Rhea Ripley or whatever, And the other thing is, too, I don't have tattoos, so I'm not going to be drawn to that either. So it's like, we're not really, we don't really have the same interests, I mean, wrestling, yeah, we have in common, but with Karrion Kross, it's kind of different, though, because on his page, it shows that, like, he likes metal and, like, horror movies. But the thing is, I like one of those things. I like heavy metal, right? And I know, like, heavy metal and horror, they're kind of connected, but I always liked heavy metal better than horror movies. That's just me. And it's like, I don't even hate horror movies. It's just, like, I'm not into them as much as heavy metal, and of course, wrestling, therefore, as well. So, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video, pretty much. So, another thing I'd like to mention before I go, the response to the Triple H video has been crazy. I mean, look, I know my C Jack's Funniest Moments compilations get tons of views. Like, I kind of expected at this point, like, okay, that's what people like me for. But to see now that I'm getting that response now, that's almost as good as the C-Jax videos. It's really good. So, I didn't expect to, I think the thing that's interesting about this channel is that I didn't expect to pop off this fast. Like, all my other channels, it's been a complete drag, for a long time to get them off the ground. But this one, it's like I've seen more success with it in less time than any of the other channels. So thank you guys for that, of course. And for who this comment here, the comment chain that I was talking about in this video about like the person that brought up the Saudi Arabia debacle, like how WWE is going to have WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. This is the comment that I got from. So shout out to you, whoever commented that. I know I've mentioned it many times, but I thought the conversation was interesting, and then I let it off there at the end with, we'll talk more about this in the next video, so hopefully he watches that video that will be coming tomorrow. And with all that being said, guys, remember, we the ones.